Today we'll be taking a look at another watch offering from the Singapore-based micro brand Zelos. This is the second watch we're featuring from their lineup. We're looking at the Swordfish. This is in stainless, is the version 2, and then we also have 2 of the bronze versions as well. While these watches were released towards the tail end of 2019, one of the reasons I wanted to take a look at this is they, despite being sold out from the Zelos website, they still are frequently available on the secondary market. If you keep an eye on either Reddit Watch Exchange, they pop up on eBay, as well as the Zelos Facebook Timekeepers group. In addition to that, one of the most exciting things to announce is Elshan Tang, the owner of Zelos, has actually shared information on upcoming releases, which we'll be getting into further on in the video. So we have some early information as well as some pre-production pics of upcoming models. So there will be the opportunity to, if you like any of these colorways, to purchase one of these versions from the secondary market, or alternatively to get in line for one of the upcoming releases as well. So with that, would like to just highlight a few of the details here. With the stainless version, this is actually the version 2, so this is the second generation offering of this particular configuration. While this specific dial was not available in the version 1, it otherwise is substantively very similar, but there were a number of updates, such as changes to the chapter ring. The initial version 1 had yellow markers for the chapter ring. Additionally, it had a different clasp. It was a quick ratcheting clasp, but it was rather large in size. It wasn't as customized for some of the touches there. But this overall setup, this particular one is the forged carbon. You can see it has beautiful rose gold handset, has a ceramic bezel insert. This one features what's referred to as the patina lume, and getting some of the vital specs here for this overall configuration. The overall Swordfish lineup in the current offerings, and this is true for all 3 here, is 42mm case. It has 22mm lug, and that does taper down on the bracelet as well as their straps, which we'll look at here in a moment, down to 20mm. The overall lug to lug is a nice short 48mm. On the stainless steel version, with the end link being a male style coupling there, it does extend it to approximately 53mm. So it sits a little larger, but as you'll see on my 6.5-inch wrist, it still fits quite nicely and wears out rather small for being a 42mm watch. Looking at the overall height here, the specs on Zelos website listed as 13mm. I measure at 13.5mm, and that is including this flat crystal, and that is a sapphire crystal. The bezel action is nice, tactile, very pronounced click, and this is a unidirectional. It's 120 click bezel. Alignment on all 3 of these models, or all 3 of these versions, is excellent. A lot of really nice touches. Beautiful brushed vertical line finishing. Polished accents on the lug guards, as well as, on the crown guard rather, as well as on the lugs. Many people have brought up similarities between this model and the Seiko Samurai, and I do think there are certainly some similarities between the two. I personally tend to fall where I actually ended up selling my Seiko Samurai. It was an excellent watch. It had a similar movement, but changing out for a similar price point, the Sapphire Crystal as opposed to the Hard Lux Crystal. I personally like the styling of the lugs a little better. While they're both an angular design, I think it fits just a little better on my wrist. I like the cuts here, as well as some of the finishing work. And I find the bracelet to be significantly better quality. It's much more comfortable. It loses the dive extension that for me was a pinch point and hotspot on the Seiko offering. This does feature micro adjust. You have 4 micro adjust on this stainless steel version. And here's a quick wrist shot. Nice small end links. Curves to the wrist very well. Extremely comfortable. And again, this is on my 6.5-inch wrist. Plenty of real estate still with that short lug to lug, even accounting for the end links. In this forged carbon dial, you really have to see it in the sunlight to appreciate how much it plays with the light. We'll do a Lume shot towards the end of the video. This one, again, features the patina Lume. This is actually, I believe, a C3 variant here as far as the base, but it does have a little more of a parchment kind of coloration. It is C3 in the bezel, as well as the markers and handset, and then the chapter ring, as well as the second hand, is BGW9. Taking a look at the bronze model here, I'm going to start with the teal version. This one was featured in the Zelos Horizon video, which if you care to take a look at the full unboxing, I will have that video linked at the end. Zelos is known for having fantastic quality for the box material, slipcover, acacia wood, a watch roll. But this teal is just stunning in person. It's a nice sunburst pattern, really plays with the light, takes on green hues, blue hues. This one you can see has minimal patina developed on it, which is one of the nice things about bronze is you can really tailor it to your taste. You can potentially put a wax or some kind of protective on there to keep it in its raw, more rose gold finish, or as you can see on the Meteorite version that we'll look at here in a moment, can take on nice bronze, brown hue to the bronze. Specs wise, again, this is very similar to the stainless steel that we just looked at. Taking a look at the case back. This is one of the NH35 offerings. So you have this very attractive swordfish featured on the back. And you can tell from the front as well on both the forged carbon and this teal that you don't have a date window, which is one of the ways to tell whether it's the ETA version or the NH35. And speaking of the ETA, this particular one you can see does have a date window. This is the Meteorite finish. And both of these bronze versions, while they are available with ceramic bezel inserts in certain colorways, these particular two have bronze inserts as well, so they're full bronze case and bezel insert. And then this one is an acid etched. You can call it a dark gray or a black for the Meteorite finish. And this one with the date window, we'll see on the back here, we have a different case back presentation because this is actually the ETA 2892 that is in this one. Nice custom rotor. One of the things that you'll notice as a difference here between the Meteorite and the standard colorways is the standard versions used a sandwich dial, so you can see that's actually set down in there, whereas the Meteorite version has a sort of applied index. It's actually applied to the chapter ring, I believe, and somewhat floats above the dial. And there are actually a number of other colorways that are available in these watches as well. So there's quite a selection to choose from in terms of movement options, in terms of overall colorways. You really have a lot that you can choose from. And coming soon, you're actually going to have even more to choose from. So before we start getting into some of the specs, I did want to highlight another difference for these versions. This is the standard Zelos Tropic strap that's included. It's a thicker version than we looked at with the Horizon GMT, but it's still very supple. You can see a nice contrast stitching. It is reversible, so you can do either logo side out or no logo. And this is included with the bronze offerings here. The bronze will come with this rubber strap, this custom bronze buckle, and it will also come with this Horween leather strap with quick adjust or quick detach spring bars. The stainless version comes standard with the bracelet as well as the Horween strap. It does not include the rubber for that, so that's the primary difference between those two. Taking a look at the Lume shot, as with other Zelos models, you can see they don't disappoint. They glow extremely brightly. The two on the outside are the two bronze versions. Those ones are going to be full C3 all the way around, so that's the bezel insert as well as the hands and indexes, just to keep a little more of a clean appearance with the bronze case. The only difference there is the second hand will glow BGW9, and then in the middle, as was mentioned previously, this is going to be the patina lume, which I believe is C3, and that's going to be in the bezel insert as well as the hands and the indexes. But this one actually has a BGW9 chapter ring, so you have a full lume chapter ring, and then it will still have the BGW9 for the second hand as well. So now getting into to one of the main reasons I'm sure you're watching this video, which is for the overall specs on what's going to be coming up. So Elshon has shared with us that the upcoming versions for July of 2020 as an estimated release date, there will actually be a titanium version. So in overall appearance, it's still going to be 42 millimeter. It will fundamentally share most of the same specs. And in appearance, it should look fairly similar to this stainless steel version of overall case design. The starting price on that is anticipated to be between $350 and $400 at launch. So that's coming in at around $50 to $100 more than the stainless steel version. That will feature the NH35 movement, and it will include a titanium bracelet with that as well. So overall setup, I expect it's going to be very similar to this model here. One of the things, if you're not familiar with titanium, it has a different character to it, kind of like the stainless steel versus bronze here. Titanium has a unique character. One of the big things for that is it will, while being similar in appearance to stainless steel, depending on the ultimate finish, it will actually be significantly lighter. So if you haven't ever worn a titanium watch, it can be a little bit of a unique experience. You're expecting typically more heft. Some people really prefer it. Other people prefer a little more of the bulk and heft. But in any case, it's going to be, in my opinion, a great option for consideration. One of the ones that's most exciting, though, is in addition to the standard titanium that's going to be released in July, in this configuration, there will also be a Timascus version that is coming out as well. If you're not familiar with Timascus, I'm going to put up on the screen a couple prior Timascus versions of Zelos watches that have been released. Timascus is also a titanium material, but it's actually layers of titanium that are forged together, and then it's heat anodized, which gives it a very unique coloration to it. It will take on purples and pinks and blues, all different kinds of hues, and each one is going to be completely unique. That one's going to have the same specs as the titanium model. So it'll be NH35 movement, still a 42 millimeter case. I'm unclear on the bracelet, on whether that will include a titanium bracelet or if that will have another option for that. I expect that it's going to be a titanium bracelet as well, but that information has not yet been released. On another note, there's actually going to be an upcoming model. It will not be available in bronze coloration, but it's going to be a completely new Swordfish offering. It is going to be a stainless steel version of a 40 millimeter case. So it's going to shrink this overall case size down. That one is anticipated to be released in August of 2020. It should have a lot of the similar finish, and I'll actually pop up some pictures on the screen of pre-production models here. So you'll notice in the pictures, the finish, the vertical lines are a little more pronounced as far as the milling. That is not the final of where it will be. That's just a rough cut for that, but did want to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. In terms of overall size, as that one is a 40 millimeter, you'll notice the dial itself is going to be shrunken down, and then of course the overall case size will be shrunken to 40 millimeters, but everything else is shrinking with that as well. So the lugs, instead of being 22 millimeters, will be reduced to 20 millimeters, so still maintaining standard strap size, so you'll be able to change around there. The lug to lug is going to be even shorter at 46 millimeters. The overall thickness will be reduced from 13.5 down to 11.5, and that's still going to feature the NH35 movement as well. And that, as it's only going to be offered at least initially in the stainless configuration, that will also include a stainless steel bracelet as a standard offering, and I would anticipate that will likely include a Horween strap as well. So we have some exciting stuff that's coming out from Zelos. I'm personally very much looking forward to adding some new options to my collection. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.